Hi everyone. Been a while since my last video. Um, about 2.5 weeks maybe a bit more. Yeah, after the last video, I had one day where there was um another disaster day. Well, the disaster day, but went on a bit of a roller coaster, and it ended up with me. Um, long story short, took a risk on a lower high, but it was like 6.5 points of risk and immediately got ticked in. I think it went about 5 ticks. I was aiming for 6 or 8, and it stopped me out, and I just flipped. Um, yeah, usual story for me. And I blew a lucid eval in one day. The Apex PA account hit max drawdown again, and I was like, enough's enough. I am sick and tired doing this. And I didn't really touch my PA for a while, 2 weeks, until this week. I started to try out Albrooks and Sim. And in fairness, it was actually going quite well, just 1-2 micros of Albrooks. Um, just trading the 5-minute chart, looking for a 10-point swing each day. And actually, yeah, Sim, it was going fine for these couple of weeks. But these sort of swing trades had me thinking, how much could I get out of PATS trades? Instead of just 4, 6, 8 ticks, could you swing trade it, or as I've done, inverse the risk reward? So if you're risking $150, aim for $300. So risking 3 points to get 6. I did a very rough back test of this, looking at Max uh, chart lessons, just opening random chart lessons from the last few weeks, couple of months, just to see how many of the trades he marks would go for 2-to-1 risk reward, or double the reward to the risk. And very rough calculation or estimate, I would say at least 75% were going 2-to-1 in current market conditions. And kind of gave me the confidence just to try it out on an eval. I got a lucid eval, 25k, and I've taken 2 trades so far, and both do go 2-to-1. I took one yesterday and one today, and it's a bit difficult emotional wise to sit through a trade 2-to-1 risk reward, because you are having to sit through pullbacks. There's always that tendency, or word I'm looking for, the eagerness to close a trade out quickly if it doesn't get to your target immediately and starts coming against you. But if I let it play out, you know, it feels good, at least on the reward side. So this was a trade I took actually today on on CL on oil. What I'd seen here was that we had 2 legs down. Then we had this uptrend, first entry, second entry long. I did hesitate on this one at first because it is very sideways and the EMA is flat. But then I thought as well, if I restart the count here, it's also a failed second entry short. We are expecting a new test of this high, so in the end, I thought, okay, I'll take it. And I didn't really expect this massive run up, but very nice movement. Bit disappointed. I did take this off before 2-to-1 risk reward, because it got up here, came back down. This red candle, it went up, started to come back down, and I thought, I'm gonna lock in $400 for the eval, which I think it was in the end 390 because I took 39 points or ticks. 39 ticks, and I thought I'll lock that in. If it gets to my target 2-to-1, great. If not, I've got almost $400 and I don't want to give that back and take a loser. But yeah, this red candle, we had a doji here, and then in the next candle, it hit my 2 to 1 just before reversing all the way down to within 1 tick of my stop and then going back up. So yeah, could have got my 2 to 1, but there was always that risk with oil that it could do something like this. So I think it turned out 1.5 risk reward. So I mean, overall $400 on one trade, one contract. I'm not going to criticize myself too much. And the trade yesterday I took was one that Mac marked, thankfully, so I wasn't just making this one up. I initially, so we had this channel up, and then we turned into a spike in channel, so spike channel. Kept hitting off the EMA and this trend line here, so I thought, well, something must be there. I think at this time I would have had this like this. And I wasn't mistakenly, but I considered this like a second entry short long. We go first entry long, second entry long, but there is an equal top here, so technically restart the count. But I think you can just treat this like a multi-test here. We touch this level so many times. It's a very bullish movement right at the end of a candle. And again, wasn't really expecting such a big reaction initially, but we get this big big candle up. I think around here I move my stop to break even, which is probably something I need to think about, because here it worked out well in the sense that I sat through all of this and it got my target to the tick. I didn't tick through, but on the tick it ticked me out, which was lucky in the sense that if it hadn't, it would have came all the way down, taken my break even out by a couple of ticks, and then launched back up again. So this thing of moving to break even once it gets to 1.75 roughly risk reward in my favor, something I need to monitor. Is it okay to do, or is it just take me out of winning trades, or will it protect me from losers? I'll have to see, monitor that. I mean, that's 2 trades with 1 contract, and the account eval is about $650. So, I mean, when I was going for the 4-tick scalps, I would have needed, with 1 contract, like 15 winners to get to that amount. So, on the P&L at least, as long as I'm winning, it feels good. But I just have to see what happens when the loser comes, because there's going to be a loser that goes 4 points and then stops me out, and I know that I'm going to start thinking, oh, that could have been $200, but now it's $200 down, or things like that. But I'm kind of just PATS wasn't working for me. I hate losing, so it kind of made sense to go for negative risk reward, because you take very few losers. Well, shouldn't take many losers. I was recently. But I just find it so hard to manage that idea after losing one that at least 2, probably 3 winners now just to get back to where I was, and just led to bad decisions, bad trading, bad losers till revenge trading. And I kind of just want to try this where I inverse the risk reward with PATS. So double the reward of the risk. So if I'm risking 3 points, aim for 6. If I stick to the A+ setups, which is more difficult than it sounds, the majority of those go twice the risk. And if you could get a 2 to 1 risk reward strategy with winning more than half the time, let's say PATS, you win 60% of the time 2 to 1. I mean, you're laughing your way to the bank. harder than it harder than it sounds, of course. But if I allow myself to dream, that would be the dream of just making PATS work 2-1, except a few more losers, but each win is 5, 6, 7, 8 points on the E. This Lucid eval was to test this just to see how it feels, how it goes. But yeah, I told myself don't think about passing the eval, but now I'm already. It's a 25k. I'm halfway to passing it, so that thought's in my mind. I just can't let that in. But yeah, just a quick video to say that it had hit the fan again. Thank God Apex has a $500 daily drawdown of 25k. It saved my arse twice already with this PA. But I just need to get some consistency going with the PA. I'm just using some micros. Copy trading from the Lucid eval, where I'm using one mini. If I can pass this Lucid, I will start trading my PA normally again with one contract mini. But for now, I'm just going to try out this 2-1 risk reward and see if it helps me psychologically. Maybe the losses will be easier to take if I think, well, I could take 2 in a row, win a third trade, and be back to where I am. It might help. I lose one, I win one, I'm in the green, I can walk away. It always annoyed me with PATS that I lost one, won one, I'd be red on the day, and I'd always try to force a third trade, and yeah, when you try to force a trade, of course, it never works out well. So yeah, so I'll try that. I say I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, like 20 trade challenge, etc., and then I tilt and stop. So that's something I need to work on. So really trying to force myself here to take 20 good trades, but all follow the strategy, the rules, respect the stop loss, and take profit. And after 20 trades, see where I am trading this way. And then, yeah, if I feel okay, if I can accept a loss, which is my big problem, I'll keep trading like this. And if not, I have to find out what I'm going to do with my life. But for now, it does feel a bit weird to sit in trades for longer, but it did help trying out Albrooks and Sim because yeah, the swing trades are 10, 20 points with Albrooks, so you're in the trade at least 5-10 minutes. It's different to scalping, so that's helped, but difficult to sit in the trade when, like this time, for example, I think it got to within 1-2 ticks of my take profit and came all the way back here. It's hard to watch that happen and not close the trade with green on the table, so something I need to train my brain to accept and just accept and move on. But hopefully you can see some progress with this. Might be interesting for people trading PATS as well, just to see how it is if you flip the R&R and have bigger winners than losers. So thanks for checking in again. I hope I keep the videos up better than I had done before, and I'll try and not be tilting, so I don't feel like not making the video. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have another update to close out the week, and next time, peace.